Hello, hope you're having a good day so far. I just wanted to have a little chat to you about protein. I'm going to do something every day this week just for you to think about protein. We all know that we need food because we like it and it's our fuel, and we have the three macros, which are fats, carbs and protein, and then on top of that you have all your fruit and vegetables, some of which fit into those as well. But they're the three that I wanted to talk about today. So all those have different calorific values per gram of food. And these days, in this part of the world, our diets are very carb heavy. So meals tend to be based around carbohydrates. That's what we go to for snacks. When we get cravings, that's what we go to, the carbohydrates. It's a quick fix, it's an instant energy source, and we like eating them. The problem is that there's a lot of calories in them and maybe not so much use for them in our body. I'm talking in general terms. And also we eat generally way more than we need. So the problem is that if you're eating more carbs than you need, you eventually are going to start storing fats, because that's what happens to it if you eat too much. Okay, it stores the energy and it ends up as fat. Also, at the same time, it probably means that you're not eating enough protein. So protein is what your body can really use. It's not as instant an energy source as carbohydrates, which is why we tend not to think of it, but in general terms it is a lot more useful. So if you're not getting enough protein, what happens is that you get hungry and then you eat carbs, and then you're still hungry, so you eat more carbs, and then later on you have your dinner, which is mainly carbs, or maybe 50% carbs, and then you're like, oh, I'm still hungry. And the reason for that is because you are protein hungry. So you might be eating enough calories, and you're definitely eating enough carbohydrates and probably fats as well, but not enough protein. So your body is still lacking it, so it's asking for it, okay? But you're not recognizing that. You're just like, oh no, I'm hungry, I need to eat some more. So here's what I want you to start thinking about. Start basing your meals around protein. Don't worry so much about the calorific value, how many grams, although I'm going to get to that, okay, another day this week. Just start looking at the protein in each meal. And ideally, you want to be eating protein at breakfast, protein at lunch, and protein for your main meal as well. And think about what your protein source is first, and then build the meal around that. So for example, this morning, I wanted French toast, okay? So what I did was I got my homemade bread and I cut it up, and I got my eggs and had some extra egg white, stuck that in as well, and then I got a scoop of protein powder. Now I tend not to use protein powder because it is processed after all, but for the purposes of this argument, I put in my protein powder and I put it in the egg mix, and then I soaked my bread in that, and then I fried that, and then I had Greek yogurt with it, extra protein. I had a little bit of fruit with it as well. So that was protein heavy. I probably had, I aim for about 30 grams a meal, and so because of the protein powder I was able to reach that. The reason I did that this morning is because I am flagging this week. I've had a tough few weeks. Last week was a heavy workout week. This morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel like jelly. So I know I need that proper build up fuel, and protein is where I'm going to get it. Okay, so do that for me first. We'll talk about this a little bit more, and please give me any questions. And just think protein. Protein is so important for us, and it could make a difference, because if you eat enough protein, likely what will happen is that you actually eat less on the whole, okay? And if you are finding that you're getting a little bit blobby around here, that's going to start addressing that, okay? Good stuff. Have a great day, guys. Get into that protein.